This is my Porsche 981 Cayman S, and a few weeks ago I installed a titanium exhaust from Ninemeister and it was insanely loud. Now I absolutely love the noise that this thing makes, but if I keep it like this forever, then one, my neighbours are going to hate me, and two, I'm going to be needing hearing aids soon, because on motorway speeds at 70 miles an hour, this drones so bad. But it's okay because this exhaust came with valves, but I just haven't had the chance to install them yet until now. As you can see, it has bat boxes and valves just up there, but because the valves have no vacuum lines going to it, at the moment they're just stuck permanently open. Everything has come with the kit, with the exhaust that we're going to be installing right now. So let's get to the installation. Alright, so we have everything we need in the boot right here. So this is all the valve controls, the electronics that we have here, the valve controller, the solenoids, and then I have a fuse tap here and all the vacuum hoses right here. So what we want to do first is getting all these plastics out here and getting this engine cover off so we can gain access to the engine. So I began with removing all these plastics, and there wasn't any bolts, it was just all clips that you pulled out, and it came out easier than I thought. I then had to remove these two plastic trims either side behind the seats to gain access to two bolts that held on this cross brace. I believe these were T20s. Once the cross brace was out, I could simply pull out this carpet, which then exposed the heat shield that was over the engine, and this was just surrounded by a load more of the exact same bolts that held in the cross brace, so you can't really mix them up. Once I'm doing all of these, I could then lift out the heat shield, which then exposed the engine bay. Alright, we have gained access to the 3.4 litre flat 6, and it's pretty dirty. I can already see the vacuum lines that we're going to be tapping into right here. This is what we're going to be taking apart and tapping into the new vacuum lines, dropping it through. So what we're going to do now is get the new vacuum lines and connect it all up to the solenoid, get the whole thing ready for us to then feed into the engine and tap into the existing vacuum lines. Alright, so we want 6 inches. So we want to get the solenoid and the hose. We want to get the next, I don't know what this is. It does something, I don't know what. You want to attach this on the end. As you can see, that arrow is pointing the same direction as that one. And now we want 8 inches to connect onto the next bit. Connect this onto here. So we plug that in. And then we want to cut off just a little bit, like that much. You don't need to really measure it. You just need a little bit. Boom. And attach that onto there. All right, so this is our first connection that we're gonna tap into the original line. All right, this is quite awkward to film. I'm literally crammed in behind the seat, and if you know a Cayman, there's not much room back here. You wanna come down here, and you can see this vacuum line here. Now we wanna pull this end out. When I pulled it off, there was a little tss. This is what we're gonna be tapping into. This is insanely flipping tight in here. This, yeah, and then this goes inside. So the end of that pipe that went into the T-junction, like that, has tapped into the old T, and the bit that we pulled out of the old T has connected into the end of that little tube that we cut off. So I hope that makes sense. And now we have this, which is gonna bolt onto there. Okay, the next weird place that I'm sat is in the boot. Okay, right, this is just what's gotta be done. We're gonna be attaching the long vacuum lines that we have here. We're gonna be attaching the long vacuum lines onto this like that. And then we've got to feed it down through the engine to the valve. So I jacked up the car to give myself better access underneath. All right, this is insanely confusing, but I've run this through like there, but I now need to pull this all the way through. All right, I'm gonna go for it and cut this. Then we want to put this T-junction in like this, and you got to think of it, right, this goes to the engine and this goes to either side of the valves, right? So boom, that goes on there. And then I'm gonna cable tie this onto there, and then attach both the vacuum lines. Like this will only be a short one to this. This bit was actually really easy to do, and you just have to take your time and make sure you don't cut anything too short, because once you've cut it too short, you can't extend it. So just take your time, line everything up, and there's actually a natural place for the vacuum lines to run, because from factory, if you have the PSE, it comes with vacuum lines anyway. So there's like a natural place for all the vacuum lines to run, and cable tie it all to the car. All right, so now all the vacuum lines are done, we want to connect this junction box, and it's like the brains of the operation, this thing. Imagine this wasn't called a solenoid. I keep calling things American names because I watch like American tutorials and stuff, and then I call it the same as what they did in the American, and then and then people have a go at me in the comments. I mean, mate, like, what the hell? I'm not sure where we run this. This might just have to run over the top. All right, so what we have is a positive and a negative. I've actually tapped on to another long bit of negative wire that grounds out. There's no ground bolts in there. That's why I've extended it. What I've got as well is a fuse tap, because we are going to tap into a fuse, which is where we're going to get our power from. Put on the new one. Let me crimp that on there. Ah, nice. Okay, now has that got it? What the helly? All right, I've managed to do it, and that's now on there pretty solid. Now, what I'm going to do is tap into one of the 10 amp ones in there. Okay, now I've pulled that out. Okay, boom. Now I have two 10 amps sitting in there, and then we put that back into where we pulled the 10 amp out. Oh, I believe that's in. So the negative now, I want to run around the back of this carpet. Down there, you can see all those brown wires. We want to connect the ground onto that. All right, it's all connected, I think. If we take a look, I've managed to connect that all in onto there. Okay, ignition is on. I thought that was it, but it's not, it's H. Or maybe, oh, it's because it's vacuum, right? It has to be on, because the vacuum needs to vacuum. Oh! Oh! It's working! Hold on. The difference that makes is a joke! You can hear me now. And now you can't hear me. Oh my... Oh, I've done a successful thing! So now this is just revving normally. I think the valves are closed. Now they're open. Closed. Oh, that's insane! I've actually done a thing there, and it wasn't that difficult. It wasn't that bad. We just got to now tidy all the lines up and make sure it looks good, and then we can go for our first drive with the valves. Let's go! So I started tidying up all the vacuum lines and managed to tuck away all the electrics just behind the carpet in a nice little space. And the vacuum lines in the engine bay were able to slot into these holders that I'm guessing were already there just in case you optioned a PSE from factory, and they obviously just don't remove them, and it looked really tidy. I'm not 100% sure how Porsche feeds the vacuum lines down, but I fed it down that part of the engine and then cable tied it all to the rear frame, so it looked really good at the end. All right, the vacuum lines are all in, and I chopped this one down a little bit because we had a little bit of overhang, but this is now running down the back of that beautifully, down and along through there, as you can see. So overall, I've done a pretty neat job, I feel, and I'm pretty pleased. So now we just got to put all the interior trims back together, which was of course just reversing the process of taking it all out. Well, it wasn't too bad, but I did catch my finger a few times in all these plastics, which are very tightly put in there, but we got there in the end, and then we could go out for our first drive. All right, that is everything done. We can now close the boot. We can now go out for our first drive and see what this sounds like on the road. That's open. And I can close it off straight away. You know the difference that makes? Like the cold start now, this is the cold start. Like it's still loud, don't get me wrong, but that is not even as bad as when they're open. Let me quickly open them again. Yeah, like the difference, that is insane. That is ridiculous. All right, we are on the road for the first time with the valves. They're currently closed, the valves are closed, so we're in silent mode at the minute. And I'm just most intrigued to see, one, does it still sound nice with the valves closed? Two, does it drone? That's the big one for me. Does it drone at motorway speeds? Let's now put it in sport mode. This is with the valves closed now. Mate, it's so quiet. Oh my God, that just sounds like it's gone back to pretty much stop. That's mad. Right, let's open the valves mid-acceleration. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. It's the difference. And now they're closed again. And you literally can't hear it. That's mental. Listen to that. And now let's open them. Hold on. Oh, and we're back. Oh, and we're so back. Oh my God. I love this exhaust. This has just made it perfection. Being able to turn the valves on and off I did not know valves could have that big of an effect, because the back boxes, they're only small, really. Let's open the valves again. That's so sick. Wow, wow, wow. Ninemeister have actually cooked with this exhaust. Thank you to Ninemeister. The car is now ready for gassed on track. Let me know what you guys think of the exhaust. Is this now absolutely spot on? Or would you just have the valves taken off and have it open all the time? What would you do? Let me know. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.